I'm Melissa Chartrand. I'm here with Marilyn Heberling. We are at her very cool, funky clothing, artsy store called Directions on Main Street, Hyannis. But we are here to really talk about theater. Hi, Marilyn. Thanks for your time today. I wanted to talk to you. We have something that you're doing this December with the Main Street Business Improvement District and the Holiday Stroll. But before we talk about that, I really would love to talk about your background in theater. It's so interesting what you have done all these many years, and I know our viewers would love to hear a little bit about you.
Well, in editing, quickly.
Right, Reader's Digest version.
I do have. I have a master's in theater, and I also have been a social worker, et cetera, et cetera. And I've done classical. I've worked with the Hudson Valley Shakespeare Festival, but even then, Shakespeare we've done interesting. I always seem to do the let's try something different. I've done theater in unexpected places. This was in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I worked with the University of Michigan for their first experimental theater festival. They were very classic in their orientation. And then I started working with them, and they did experimental theater festival with Julian Beck, Judith Malina, crazy people that took their clothes off and did weird things, but interesting. Always is, again, trying to do just something a little different. The last thing I did in New York when I lived there was doing theater in a restaurant, when kind of doing pop-up theater, so that the people didn't know that they knew something was going to happen, but they didn't know when. So that's what I do.
That's what you do, which is remarkable. And as you say, you were in Michigan, upstate New York, and now here on the Cape. We're happy to have you here and thrilled that you're bringing some of this theater to us, including something a little different for the Main Street Stroll. Let's
I
talk
hope so,
about
yes.
that, because we're looking for actors ages 6
Yes,
to 100.
The show is it's an English mummers play of St. George and the Dragon. And actually the beginnings of that were pagan, and it was sort of mysterious actors. Actors always seems to in history have been mysterious and feared because they have all of these strange things they do. So the mummers used to come into town, and they wore costumes that had papers on them, sometimes leaves. So that then was translated down through the years, and the pagan became Father Christmas, St. George, who was the hero, and he always fought the dragon, and always had at least one character. Sometimes they've added many characters that St. George will fight, but we're doing Turkish Knight, who is sort of a cowardly soldier. And then there's always the doctor, who is sort of a quack doctor, mysterious, crazy, but brings that resurrection. He brings everybody back to life through magic. The way we'll do it is on the streets and on the green and up and down, just like the mummers actually did. And we will be doing costumes in somewhat papers, but we're going to be doing fabric things. And it'll be fun and silly and broad and developed by the actors and myself directing, because the script itself is in verse and it's only 5 pages long. But it's got sword fights and deaths and dying and silly, and it's just broad, wonderful comedy, and involves the audience too.
And how does that work when you say along the street? Is it something where if I'm on one end of Main Street, do I follow, or see an excerpt of it? So you take it.
We're going to perform it. It probably is going to maybe last 20 minutes. So we'll perform one place and stroll down the street, and perform another place and stroll down the street. Many times that's what they did. They had to gather an audience, and most people knew about mummers, so that they would be following them and want to see and they boo the dragon and boo the Turkish Knight and cheer for St. George.
So it's very interactive.
Yes, very fun, very silly, but
Very cool.
Very different.
Yes. So if we have folks that are viewing this and would love to participate, they can reach you at the store
Yes.
at Directions on Main Street, or actually through artsbarnstable.com. We will have information on how they can contact you as well. I love this theater and pop-up and interesting spaces. I hope you think this as a launching pad to see where it's going to take, right? Everything crossed to
Yeah.
see. To me, it's so much fun. You were talking about this one-act play in the restaurant where people don't realize what's happening, and again, they become a part of this
Yes,
entire
yeah.
scene.
We had 8 sold-out performances of that, and people falling off their chairs laughing.
Right.
It's again, what I hope, and I've sort of always been a gardener too. I like to plant seeds and make things grow. I started with the Shakespeare Festival, Hudson Valley Shakespeare Festival, when they first did Shakespeare in a garden, and we did Midsummer Night's Dream in a garden, and then it got to be a huge big tent that also was they're nationally known now. I'm hoping, because I think Hyannis is a wonderful place, I'm hoping that there can be a theater space here, whether it be a storefront type of theater, or yes, theater in unexpected places.
Right. What I love about this is bringing it actually into the streets.
Yes.
I think where you're located and the area, and right in the heart of the cultural district, finding theater in these pop-up spots is quite fun.
Could be fun.
It could be. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about yourself and your background, and we hope that I look forward, December 6th, I believe is the day.
I think it's December 5th. It's
Yes,
Saturday
let's
the
try that again.
5th.
Yeah, I believe I'm so looking forward to the show as a part of the Main Street, Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement Holiday Stroll on December 5th, and we'll see where it'll go from there.
And we hope for a better day. Last year, I organized a fashion stroll, and we started off, we had many stores were going to participate. It rained that day, and I have a sad picture of, I think there were 6 of us that went ahead with the fashion stroll.
Well, there's no sad days with rain. There's always sunshine where we are.
Well, we hope so.
Right. Well, thank you
Count
so
on
much.
that.
Thank you, Marilyn. For Marilyn at Directions, I'm Melissa Chartrand, wishing you an artful day.